Alrighty then. We're getting into game number 2. So we're returning a la Ace Ventura styles. No, not game number 2. What? We're getting into a brand new series. What am I saying? It's map number 1 in a brand new best of 3. Spawning here in the top right to kick it off, we do have the Green Terran, Beastyqt, who I may or may not be officially wishing ill for this series. I'll explain why in a moment. His opponent at the bottom left going to be the red Protoss Goblin. Also, big thank you to John Archer. John Archer, 2097. Back from the future to prevent the Terminator. Oh, okay, it's John Connor. What am I doing? Damn it, I messed that up real bad. Thank you for that new sub hype, and welcome to the Base Trade Brigade. It says, after 3 years away from the Corpulu space, Base Trade's renewed my hype for StarCraft. Thank you. You know what's actually really cool? I want to talk about this. Forget it. This is WCS casting, I know. But there's a League of Legends player I follow, right? His name's like Inox or Inoxent. I don't actually know what the full appropriate name is, but I've known him as Inox because that's what he played as when I first got into casting anything. My very first tournaments I tried to host, fun fact, were on League of Legends, and we weren't allowed to host like regular tournaments. Riots had like really strict rules about that since fucking forever, right? So we hosted these little weird tournaments where we did like 1v1 or 2v2 like level 1 river battles, and you just basically make people fight on level 1 heroes. It was stupid, but it was fun. It was cute. And Inox won 2 of these, so I followed him on Twitter. He's like on Twitch, and he's like one of the first people I followed forever ago. Anyways, in the time since then, fucking 5 years or whatever that BaseTradeTV's been existing, this kid has grown up big. And he was like on EG. He was a big League of Legends player, played for LCS and all this other stuff. And I've been on and off following him for a while. But I saw him streaming yesterday. And the guy like never streams. So I went in to say hi, say, do you remember me? And we just kind of chatted it up for a bit. It was kind of cool seeing how far he'd come. But the best part about that conversation and where this cool story is going is he's like, what have you been up to? And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I got into StarCraft. And now we do like a lot of freaking StarCraft. And immediately, this guy whose life has been about League of Legends, nothing but League of Legends for like the last 3 or 4 years, started getting all nostalgic. He's like, oh man, I used to play like all these custom games. I'm excited for the Brood War remaster. And I love that this is a fact, right? StarCraft, it's not as popular as the other games. There's no question about it. There's no fake hype you can give it. There's no fake love you can give it, right? But what was really cool for me was just that immediate like nostalgia and love you feel. And you know that like everybody who's played StarCraft at some point, like they loved it. They really did. Whether it was Brood War for custom games, whether it was competitive, like everybody really did at some point play StarCraft and love it. There's very few people who I think have ever played it, hated it, or never played it at all. So it's really cool watching somebody like that get super nostalgic. And we just kind of nerded it out for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was nice, actually. But anyways, there's important stuff happening this game. I tell my cool story, bro. And that's Beastie knew exactly what to expect out of Goblin. He checked for the proxies all over to make sure that nothing would come into play. This is where I think it's really interesting for Goblin to play normal. And what I mean by normal is like you can still play cheesy, but not proxies and not things Beastyqt would specifically be looking for. Because while Lily Canine is not a bad player, and as we saw, he had the appropriate defenses, he knew what was coming, he knew what to do, Beastie is kind of like an echelon above him. No disrespect to Lily Canine. Really like his playstyle, really think he's a good player. But Beastie is, I think, above him in a lot of ways. And he should just be ready for any of the BS that gets thrown at him. Now, I kind of joked about wishing him ill at the start of the game. And it's because we were just making some jokes in the lobby and, of course, comments on Goblin proxying him. But yeah, not happening this game. Tank, Viking, any sort of push that would come early should be shut down. In fact, he's even got enough Marines to make sure the Oracle doesn't do much. Magic number being 6, of course, and he actually brings a scan. We'll see what he saw in a sec. Revelation just pops off, realizing he can't get any damage done, and falls back. But scan to the main sees the Stargates. It unfortunately does not have much else to really reveal. I'm not sure if Goblin will be looking to shoot for Phoenix Adept or not. The Oracle has a little bit of juice left. So give him 4 or 5 kills. Yeah, 5 kills. Not bad. Yeah, if I can shoes this away. You know what, guys? We're going to change something up here, though. I'm going to mute the game sounds. Because Heroes of the Storm recently released their soundtrack for their stuff. Where did I save this to? Maybe a bit loud, turn that down. And their map music is like Brood War remixed. Sounds so good. We're just gonna have that play in the background. Hopefully not louder than the actual game sounds. We'll turn that down a smidge more. Find out if that's too loud later. But speaking of nostalgia kicks, this shit got me good. And I've played a couple of the games on like Heroes because I tried to get the Diva skin and all that. Warhead Junction, I think was the map. It's pretty fun. Wasn't anything super phenomenal, but it was pretty fun. But yeah, we'll make our own background music for a bit. See how it works out. If you guys really hate it, I'll go back to normal default stuff. But the dude in me feels so cool and motivated by this push now. The tanks are a really interesting touch. A bunker's going to come down even too, but the tanks, as good as they are, they can be lifted up by the Phoenix. I think that's where the Vikings and, of course, the Marine cover comes into play. Medevac launching to head towards the main. There's a Widow Mine in this too, so if Goblin's too distracted in the front, he might just get hurt really bad at home, but dead zone of the tank's going to be hit pretty hard here. Phoenix is swooping in too. Vikings end up landing on the ground. I don't know how much this will help. He tries to clear the Adepts off the tanks, but really, I guess it keeps him safe from the Phoenix. This gets broken, though. This gets broken in half. We'll see if the distraction was enough, though, because he's about to hit the main, and everything else is at the third base right now. Beasty's got to do a lot. He's going to lose that medevac. That's going to cost him a lot in the end of the day. Focusing down the probes. He's got about 8 or 7. Yeah, there's 8, 9. Phoenix is limited on energy, so they can't do this forever. The probes pulled are pretty good too. Beastie ends up getting like 12-something kills from this. Widow Mine's still in the main. Hopefully Goblin has not forgotten about this. I'm broing that. It's going to be dangerous. Oh, I see what he's trying to do, though. He knew the Oracle was coming, so he wanted to try and get range and pop off on the Oracle. But you know what? 13 workers dead isn't too shabby. But with Goblin being on 3 bases and not really hurting in the army after that, I don't know how good or bad that was for Beastie. His production's going to be picking up now that he can finally get some of these extra barracks down, but heck, dealing with these Phoenix is not going to be fun. Side note, I love this remix that they did for HOTS. I really hope they remix like a Zerg and a Protoss version too. Zerg music was actually pretty catchy to have in the background. And there was that, was it Radio Free Zerg, I think it was called? Wait, really? Can't hear it? Hold on. It is 100% playing right now. Can the stream not hear this for some reason? Hold up. Is it too quiet or just can't hear it at all? I can turn it up. People seem a bit quiet. Alright, I didn't want this to be too loud. Let's see if that's any better. Okay. So, alright, that kind of sucks that you guys couldn't hear that super well. But hopefully this is better. This is actually really loud in my ears, so I hope it's audible in your guys's. Worst thing in the universe is when you try and put something on and it's just like way too freaking loud on stream. So that's what I was trying to avoid with that. But let's see if it's any better. You guys can let me know. We'll adjust and play as we go. As long as you can hear me, that's all I care about. But of course there's stream delay, so anytime I adjust anything, it can compensate. Oh! That ends up being not a bad hit. Probes tried to split, got a little bit chaotic. New Widow Mines heading towards the natural and main as well. And of course, detection is going to be kind of limited. Does he actually have an observer out yet? No, it's still just... Actually, with that Oracle going down, he has no detection. I'm not sure if BC's aware of this or not, but that's going to work out really nicely for him because now Goblin's going to be stalled out for quite some time. Oracle starts up, though. Ooh, and triple medevacs heading out. A lot of bunkers now. BC really didn't want to die to some stupid adept push, and that's going to guarantee that it won't be the case. Not yet, at least. Put over a bit more. 12 killed. How many probes died so far this game? Total of 25 is not too shabby, but yeah, go back to the fact that Goblin's been on 3 bases for a while. 3 chronos, 3 probes. Not an issue. Also, shout out for Tom showing off my cool tier 2 emotes in chat. Appreciate it, man. I love you, Tom. This is a big attack coming down the middle of the map, and this is going to work out well. BC doesn't commit, but he distracts at the front. This attack could do a lot, or vice versa. I mean, really, his army's been split pretty well for this. A lot of Phoenix are going to make sure that he can pick up every single Marine if he wants to. Other side not going to be caught in the open. He runs away and he stims. Pickup goes to the natural. Phoenixes have not used up too much energy dealing with this, but they are dealing with this. This is what makes Phoenix so crazy, that they can... You trade with almost no repercussions, but there were so many Marines there that he actually did lose quite a few Phoenix to this. Natural base getting ransacked as we speak. Widowmine trying to catch the escaping probes. Gets a decent shot. 20 killed so far. But a big counter of Adepts going across the map. Ooh, he's not in the bunker, and he's on the wrong side of the wall. He's going to lose a lot of his units because he's focused elsewhere, and this could really, really not just hurt, but kill him because he doesn't know about the attack, and he just picked up 2 more medevacs. Nothing for the bunkers. Beasty's got to get inside them. Widowmines have got to get down. He's got to make sure these Adepts don't transfer past this either. He holds the front line for now. Still has Widowmines in these mineral lines, so it's really screwing with Goblin's income. Mining here is very limited. Not much in the main. Natural not even touched. In 30 stack. Oh, God. If he gets like a single Widowmine over here, he would get so many kills. But not going to happen. Goblin doesn't want to let it happen. Attack in the middle is not going too bad. BC actually, I just realized both of them are finishing their 2-2 around 12 minutes. This has been a game so much about production and units, and not so much about army. Man, see, this is the problem. They say the music's a little bit too loud. I gotta find that middle ground, that sweet, sweet middle ground. All right, fam. 2 minutes of too loud music. Hopefully, this is a bit better. I turned it down 5. This went from 35% to 30%. Before it's at 20, so hopefully it's okay. So we also grabbed Nova's soundtrack. I want to play a little bit later too. Although, to be honest, this just makes me want to bring up like a Brood War playlist and straight play that. But one thing I didn't really notice was going on behind this. BC's gone for ghosts. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. These Phoenix have been a lot of problems, but if you EMP them, A, you take off their shields, and B, then there's no energy left to pick up units, and suddenly these are very, very much wasted army supply. Goblin poised outside the base, though. He's got 2-2 upgrades of his own. And BC actually... Oh, shoot. I just realized BC lost a lot of medevacs early on that he did not replace yet. I mean, typically as a Terran player, you're going to have about 4 in play at any given time. Ideally. However, the fact that he's got only 2 medevacs, these can't heal the stimmed units, which means they're not going to be any help in the army fight whatsoever. This is really bad. He's still producing Liberators behind us. BC needs new medevacs. He needs new medevacs so very badly, but... Oh, it's a planetary. I didn't even notice. Liberators will make sure this doesn't get too out of hand off the ground, but the Phoenix will be able to pick pretty much everything up here, and that's what makes this so dangerous. Looking for those EMPs, though. He's got the female ghost through and running to the front lines. Everything's stacked up. Looking for that beautiful, beautiful EMP. Of course, the Widowmines also burrowed. They're expecting the Adepts to transfer through, but Goblin now aware that ghosts are in play. He didn't know until just this moment, so he has to spread himself a little bit thin. He realizes this, too. BC's choosing to push past this. Ghost might get picked up. Ghost. Oh, God. I think he EMP'd himself? I think he's trying to hit the Adepts should they have timed out with that transfer. I'm a little unsure on what just happened there, but he's got another EMP left in him. He does get the EMP. It hits most of the Phoenix and a lot of the Adepts. Takes out the shields from everything, and Widowmine's going to finish off the rest. Liberators are not in range to hit too much of anything, but the Bio's not doing too bad on the ground. However, there has to be enough Marines. There has to be enough Ghosts. There has to be enough anything that shoots up to deal with the Phoenix, and unfortunately for Beasty, as good of a fight as that was, he needs to get the hell out of Dodge. Poor Medevac. She's been through like 9 fights. Just let me die. Let me die. BC at least is starting to make some more Medevacs behind us, so he's going to have some fresh energy, which would be nice. We got, of course, Colossus on the way. Ooh, that's actually going to be quite the change-up. I'll talk about that in a moment. Normally, a Terran player on 2 starports could just start pumping out 4 Vikings at a time, and this would be easy frickin' peasy. But with all these Phoenix in the sky, oh, pretty good win of my shots. Maybe without all these Phoenix in the sky, that might be an option. But Beasty's been so focused on Phoenix Adept, and rightfully so, that he may not be considering Colossus behind this. Quickly checking to see where he has scanned so far and where he's been to. Oh, Beasty's using the Artosis, the Tastosis announcer pack. Okay, so he knows the Colossus could potentially be coming out. He's seen the tech for it. Man, I'm just like jamming here. Like, I don't even want to cast. I just want to like. I'm ruining it. I'm ruining it. I'm fully aware. But, oh man, we got to stay on top of the Nexus. This is going to go down. No chance to survive. Nice base snipe for Beasty, because Goblin, of course, is relying on that income right now, especially as he transitions to very expensive units like these Colossus. But Widowmine's going to pop off on the Phoenix. Not many left over at this point. What few there are almost dead. So swooping in and picking up all of Beasty's units is not going to be as easy as it was in the past. While this goes on, Liberator denies natural base mining. Main base gets dropped by double Medivacs, and this push goes without the Colossus. He gets too far ahead of himself. Well, we should not have let those adepts transfer through. That's going to cost Goblin perhaps the game even. He had a pretty good ground army. Still has a pretty good ground army, but it's slow. There's no recall. Getting back to the main looks like it's out of the question. This is a slow warp in because it wasn't attached to the Nexus, and Beasty takes game number 1. Very nicely done by our Terran. Excuse me. We'll see if he can keep up the momentum, though, because if it wasn't clear, that was not an easy game for Beasty. I don't know how to do air guitar, if we're going to be honest. I think what I just did was like air ukulele. Alright, they get in the lobby for game 2. I don't know what the map is, we'll find out in a second. Alright, hold up. We're going to swap music gears up for this next one. And this is like an honest question, guys. Let me know what you think. Like, is this music better than the default music? I'm having a better time jamming to it, that's for sure. But looks like Goblin needs a moment, so we might do a commercial break. Goblin, please join. I don't want to go to commercial break. I want to just keep casting. Goblin's in the lobby now. I'm not sure what he's doing though. Hold up, guys. Like I said, I really don't want to do a commercial break. I want to just get in the game. All right, go 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 go. It's called. I'm not going to tell you the name of this one, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be nearly as radical as the Brood War one, but I do want to know if anyone identifies this right off the bat. We'll give this flavor of music a try for this game. It's ramping up to the intro. The bottom right. The yellow Terran, Beastyqt. And the top left, the red Protoss Goblin. Things are tied up. Nope, what am I saying here? Things are leading here for Beasty 1-0. And I don't know what to really say. Like, he made a lot of the right moves. It's not like Goblin played badly. This just came down to a game where I think Beasty played that better towards the end of it. Goblin didn't get away with any of his early game tactics. He didn't get to shut Beasty down with shenanigans. And all of that considered, Beasty still was not exactly taking an easy game. Phoenix and Adept is a very powerful combination. And what is most importantly noted is a lot of the time players do this. It doesn't work when players are constant. Like, when players stay at home and defend and turtle and get a big army, Phoenix Adept doesn't look so scary. But when you're dropping constantly and harassing like Beasty was, normally the Phoenixes get such good trades, it ends up being so bad for the Terran player. So, oh my. Things are going to get a little bit spicy this game. I was wondering what the heck he was going to proxy, but no Cybercore at home. Just putting down that gateway for early warp-ins and fast warp-in speeds. This might just catch BC off guard, especially if he's going for a faster command center, in which case he'll skip this depot, and that's going to leave the door wide open for Goblin. I'm really worried about this. Now, Beasty knows something might be up, so he puts the command center on the high ground. I actually applaud this move. This is like a 10 out of 10 move. Gold stars all around. But there's still going to be the pylon push that'll open the door. There's still going to be adepts and possibly stalkers and what have you coming out behind this. And of course, everything's going to be warped in pretty quick. BC does scout the main to see that there's nothing yet. Like, no Stargate, no Robo, no Twilight Council. This is where you gotta start scratching your head, like, what is my opponent doing? So he puts a bunker down on the low ground. He's expecting pylon pushes of some variety, but he might not be aware of the extra units that come with this. Look at that probe that's hiding over here. There's a backup probe over there on the right side too. Pylons will go up, no doubt about it. But this, you know what? When we saw this earlier with Liganine, the bunker barely had any Marines in it. This is a fully loaded bunker. Pylon will go down pretty quick. While these pylons do their best attempt to go, I love that he jumps out to snipe off the probe. That was really cool to see. He does but a starport. No, excuse me. What is this? A factory elsewhere on the map. He'll be looking to walk Widow Mines to his opponent's base. Neat. He chases off the adepts pretty much immediately. This has been so very well handled out of Beasty, but there's still going to be the pylon at least one up. Oh, I put SCVs in the bunker. That may have been a mistake. So if he breaks down one of the depots, he can then walk in with the adepts, which may have been his goal this whole time. Of course, Beasty's going to be making Widow Mines and looks like, ooh, dropping them into his opponent's main. If SCVs are pulled, he can take on these adepts. The Marines are kind of low, though, which makes this very, very scary. Pull comes a little bit late, and the Marines are dead. Feels bad, man. It's best off just keeping those Marines in the bunker, too. He's pulling all the SCVs for this. He really wants to clean this up now and not have to deal with this later. And I think BC knows, like, he's going to get the better end of this. If he can survive long enough to get anything out of this, he just drops Widow Mines elsewhere. There's going to be no detection at home. There's no Stargate with this. There's no Robo with this. So, well, the Stargate's coming down now, but I think he's done a wonderful job holding. He's got the command center here, building SCVs instead of becoming an orbital. Okay, maybe that's not the greatest thing, but ultimately I think BC has done a pretty good hold. The depot coming back down is a pretty huge part of this, too. Right now, he's just trying to keep high ground vision to his advantage. Stay away from the adepts, away from the overcharge. Now becomes an orbital. Okay, there we go. He's going to open the door once again, but here we go. We're going to have a couple Widow Mines dropping shortly to his opponent's base, and this just comes down to BC holding to any variety. Like, it doesn't have to be a good hold. He gets out of this with no SCVs. He's still got 2 mules, and I think he'll be ahead. Like, there's a very high difficulty rating here for Goblin to actually finish out the game. But he's got a lot of abusive stuff he can certainly try and play with. I love this. I think the bunker secures it. This one trades out. It doesn't work very well, but it trades out. Gets a lot of adepts almost dead. Wait, where'd the medevac go? Here we go. Couldn't find the little yellow dot on the minimap. Oof. I thought he had 2 Widow Mines, did he not? Hang on. Oh, the other one's just stuck over here? Oh, that's awkward. Well, this goes on. As predicted, the adepts do transfer over. The oracles stay on this side of the map, and SCVs are pulled behind the bunker. Safety in numbers, but also 4 Marines inside of that bunker. The adepts can't really do much about it. And then Widow Mine's just going to fire again relentlessly. Another one comes to the natural base soon. Walks on over. The oracle's not quite here yet, so it's going to suck. 2 oracles has revelation, so he can start cleaning up the Widow Mines, but oh, Goblin's going to take some damage for sure before he cleans all this up. Burning the revelation here means he might not have well, he should actually have revelation for the main 2. Hopefully not too distracted by this. Beastyqt trying diligently to mine through the Adepts, though. This is crazy. He's going to pull the SCVs and go for like a break. The medevac is here, so I think it's possible for him to do, but he's on 9 workers. Another one of mine just fired off. Another revelation comes down in the natural. So very little mining on both sides of the map, but it's like worse for Goblin than it is for Beasty. Not sure when this Liberator came into play, I should say, but this should make it so the Adepts can't free fire like they were before. Although dealing with that Phoenix is going to be a problem. He's got to pull the Marines out to deal that. If he shoots the Phoenix out of the sky, that Liberator sets up, and these Adepts don't stand a chance. Phoenix does go down. Another one going to come in. It's still not going to cut it. I don't think he realizes it's being repaired. Yeah, if there's 2 bunkers on the left, you just set the Liberator on the right. I don't know, guys. He sends a command center off to the middle of nowhere. If he lands that, start ninja mining, that'd be really cool. I'd love to see mules drop to the bottom left. This is pretty dire for Beast. He's on 4 SCVs right now. His Widowmine Harass has stopped working. He's completely shut down the main. I shouldn't say stopped working, excuse me. But Goblin is still mining. And he didn't quite get to finish off here. There's constant revelations and pulls, and with the Oracles being brought to the front lines, this might actually be enough. BC not in the mineral lines, taps out. GG, and Goblin will take game number 2 in way too tight of a game. Way too tight of a series. It's gross, it's disgusting, it's awesome, I love it. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Quick ad break before game 3. Shout out to Hello Zergling for doing it right. Drops the GGs and they look all glorious and shiny and pulsating while he does. I love it, man. I love it. We're going to be getting into game 3 here in a moment. We are still waiting on Goblin to join us. He's taking a few minutes. This could really go either way. It is going to be on Odyssey, so it's a map that is not the greatest in terms of what I'm going to quote-unquote call balance, but we're going to see how this goes. I think the thing is, though, map design might not matter at all if we see proxies being the prominent thing to do. Big stretch for today. That's so boring at home right now, guys. Kate, my roommate, she got a new job, which is awesome, and I'm very happy for her because she's been trying to get one for a while. She does work several jobs, but she dislikes some of the ones she worked at, so haven't really had anyone home to hang out with. So just been enjoying streaming, playing some games with Nate, some PUBG on the sides. You guys know how it is. But if you guys don't follow my personal channel, I've actually been streaming a lot more recently on it. Granted, it's not StarCraft, so don't follow if you only watch for StarCraft, but twitch.tv/RIF_KING. I would certainly appreciate it if you guys would hit me up with a follow over there. So you saw some of those clips from earlier. We like to have some fun, silly, stupid times. Weird Japanese Rube Goldberg machines are the best Rube Goldberg machines. And CPG Gray, did he put out a new video?
Many will advise you how.
Oh, okay. I don't know who else is like this out there. CGP Gray is like, yeah. Sorry, wasn't reading. CGP Gray is like my favorite YouTuber. Like, just straight up. There's nobody I enjoy watching more with videos than him. So I'm super duper excited to see there's a new video because he puts one out like once every million years. But okay, let's hop in a game. You know what? The Nova the Nova soundtrack was pretty good. But let's go back to the classic, the good. Game number 3. I keep stuttering and saying it incorrectly, but finally we are in map number 3. Spawning in the top left, he's going to be the orange Terran player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beastyqt. Fun fact, the Q and the T should never be capitalized. Always lowercase. And at the bottom right, we got the blue Protoss Goblin. But yeah, this series has been wonky and weird and wonderful, and that's why we chose to follow Goblin in the brackets, knowing that he would be playing a little bit gross, given the opportunity to. And, who does he fight next should he win? Okay, the winner of this series, regardless of who it is, whether it's BC, whether it's Goblin, they're going to fight the winner in either Geralt or Mana, who, by the way, I believe is a PvP Poland versus Poland 2. So it's a PvP. Unless I'm misremembering. I thought Geralt was Protoss, but now I'm realizing my confidence isn't actually 100%. But also, we got some word from the admins that the mainstream will be, I think, 2 rounds from now, taking the rest of the matches. So we probably have, like, literally one more best of 3 in us, and then we'll probably have to take off. So, hey, it's up being a pretty short and sweet day at casting. Plus, again, I really want to advertise and drive home that tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, I'll be back with Fear Dragon joining me, and we'll be casting a North American show match. A lot of folks have said, oh, we wish you'd do more stuff later in the day, so we're going to give it a shot. And if you enjoy it, hopefully we can do more of it. But a big part of why we stopped doing NA content was because, A, the viewership wasn't there at all. You would have the exact same show match yield literally a third of the viewers if it's done past like 5 p.m. Pacific, right? But this one's not about viewers. This one's about a really cool announcement and a good way to do that announcement, so I'm excited to do it. And if the turnout's good, maybe we'll do more. But like I said, even if you're not going to watch the show match, check the VODs, check Twitter, because huge news is coming tonight, guys. Really big news is coming tonight. If you can watch the footnote before watching the video. What video? What are we talking about? I'll have to look at that in a bit. Oh, hold up. I gotta read something important too. So enjoy that epic music for the fight that's about to come. BC does have a bunker on the low ground. I don't know if this will be enough though. I really don't think this will be enough though. In the meanwhile, the mothership core hits straight to the main. Oracle accompanied with this actually doesn't have the killing power to stop the Marines. If he focuses down the Oracle, that is. If he shot the mothership core first, this would have gone really badly, but she forces out the recall, and that Oracle's almost dead. Cyclone on the way too guarantees that no front door breakage going to be happening here. There's no pylons down. There's nothing to shoot the depots. And the Oracle is hiding, but it's going to wait till it regenerates shields before I think trying to run away again. This is not going to be an easy escape. Cyclone just barely doesn't have lock-on range. I'll tell you guys, look at that. You can kind of see the white circle. I guess not really well. But it goes to, like, literally right here. Ah, this is going to be so frustrating. Alright, well, second Oracle comes into play. This one's going to have a little bit more health on it, but I think with Command Center floating down, BC's in none too bad of a spot. He's a little bit supply capped, which kind of sucks right now, but also means he hasn't lost a lot of units, so there's always that going for you, I guess. But Goblins still continue to just produce Oracles. Back at home, he hasn't really advanced his tech. Twilight Council is on the way, though, so we'll see that change up shortly. I'm wondering if it'll be Resonating Glaives even, though. Big part of why I asked this, of course, is if you guys don't know, Charge had its cost significantly reduced. Literally halved. It's like 100, 100 now. And Zealots are probably the best freaking units in the game when there's no Widow Mines in play. Fart Falcon says, I watch the cute girls all the time. Dude, Nadia is probably one of the cutest. You have good taste, sir. Although, real talk, whatever happened to 7th? Man, I miss 7th. She was probably not the best human being in the world, but damn if I didn't love her to death. And of course, everyone knows about my Aussie waifu Lufu. Man, I need a real girl, okay? All these 2D girls, alright, on Twitch. They're worse than the anime girls. Actually, oh, that's something I would consider. Everyone always makes the joke about 2D versus 3D, but if you think about it, and like, you only watch people on Twitch and you never meet them in real life. Like, anyone who will never meet me in real life, I am 2D to them. I will never be a 3D human being if you only watch me on Twitch. This is making me do some thinking I never thought I'd ever do. Does this suddenly mean 2D waifus are okay? I don't even know! But while I have my existential crisis, Goblin may have an actual crisis, as the Marines and Cyclones are more than enough to take on this army. Overcharge aside, like, this is out of range of the Nexus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well, the Nexus is going to fall. There's no saving it. Even with the Oracles coming in like this, I think it's worth just having killed the Nexus alone. But he picks up the Cyclones. He's doing a little bit of fancy footwork, loses the Cyclones. That kind of sucks, but So much damage done just by this base going down. Of course, he's going to still trade out with some of the Adepts, some of the Stalkers on his way out of the game. Or out of the fight, excuse me, because he is going to lose the Cyclone, make no mistake. A little bit of a dance party, but for Beastyqt, this ends up working out fantastic. His natural base is up and running. He's got turrets in each mineral line. He's got plenty of SCVs. In fact, almost too many SCVs. Where's that third CC, brother? But I really like this. This really was a good deflection of the early attack. It's a proxy Stargate too, so it's never fun to deal with. Combined with the fact that he got a really great attack off, Goblin is going to be really far behind economically here. This is the period in time where the money spent on this Nexus should have been the third, and this is where Protoss gets their leads from. But unfortunately, not the case. Also, kind of an interesting move out of Goblin. Stasis wards may prevent Beastyqt from just walking down the middle of the map, but I don't know that Beastyqt necessarily would be. This is really interesting. This is really, 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 really interesting. Because my thoughts are, if Beastyqt's leaving the base, he's probably doing it by medevac, right? You're not just marching down the middle of the map as a Terran player when you know there's 3 Oracles lurking about. But Siege Tank, Bunker, he scans to see the fact that there are, in fact, Stasis wards up and about, so he knows now for sure not to walk down the middle of anywhere. His stim is really far off. I didn't realize that. But he does have Compass Shields finishing. He's got +1 finishing, so this will be pretty good for Beastyqt, I think. Revelation. Ugh. Ooh, new sub alert, or resub alert. Thank you, Thorstein Sigur, for the 16 months. Coming back and giving us some of that love. Much appreciate. Bunker under fire, literally on fire. Uh-oh. Getting Scarlet, No Regret, and Neeb. Beastyqt knows about these, though. This seems like such a silly mistake. He scanned them. He saw them. He's going to have to scan them again if he wants to kill them. But now he's got to protect these Marines. That's a lot of Marines. You get, like, really... Oh, don't walk into the other ones. Oh, he walks into the other ones. This is bad. This takes away a lot of the fodder, so yeah, the tanks can get some good damage done. But looks like it's still going to be good enough. Screw it. Forget that. Oh, man, these tanks live just barely. This is so critical that those actually took out the Stalkers. That's the difference of losing the tanks, but of course, more importantly, the Marines. Another Stasis ward gets stripped. Beastyqt probably sitting there, like, clenching his teeth, but shouldn't be too mad as he's dominating the supply right now. On top of this, he does have Storm to possibly worry about, but we might just be at a brute force number of things that it might not be a big deal. I don't know how that tank died. That didn't look like that shot should have gone off at all, but comes to the front line with some SCVs to repair the rest. Marauders can weather the storm. They can take the Zealot hits. Goblin's going to have to work his ass off for any kind of defense. Beastyqt should be able to take pretty much any fight he wants here. There's no sentry. Well, excuse me, there's one sentry. But he's probably looking for a Guardian Shield more than he is anything else. Why? I'm looking. There's no Widow Mines. Unless he cleaned it up so quick that we just didn't see it. But, man, 9 probes just died for what feels like nothing. Can't wait for Twitch VR. I still don't think that classifies as 3D though, right? Because here's the thing, we're witnessing 3D models in game, but you're watching this on a flat surface. This is still 2D, right? Like, you could have a 360 cam set up for like your favorite streamer, but if you're watching them on a screen, they're still only in 2D, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird to describe, I guess. Even if you're using goggles, you're still looking at a 2D surface, not a 3D surface, right? You can't actually reach out and touch anything. I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea of like VR suddenly opening up new possibilities or anything. Like, don't get me wrong, but I still think it's even though it's 3D, it's still classified as 2D when it comes to like definitions, I would imagine. I don't know, man. I want to beat yourself out with the Ace W head. Yo, my Ace W face is amazing. Okay. Don't hate. Cutting down the middle of the map, though, Beastyqt may not have been able to push in to win with this, but the fact that Goblin is still on only 2 bases kind of feels like it is already a win. Ghosts on the way, going to make this even easier with EMPs, but just the sheer amount of bio. There are Widow Mines down, so Zealots with charge, while good and cheap and efficient, still aren't going to quite be enough. And then, of course, it's just, again, the numbers game. This is something, too, that's really weird and, like, I want to say almost like backwards out of Goblin. He's gone for +3 weapons through all of this. But classically, we've seen armor be the preference. And armor plus Guardian Shield means bio doesn't really hurt you, especially when you're going for charge lots. However, excuse me, how is still not awake? It's still not going to be the case. Like, +3 weapons, you're going to charge in, you're still going to get one swipe off, and the Widowmine's still going to kill you. So I guess armor, weapons, get as much damage as you can before you die. Holy guacamole, that's an in-control host. Now in control of hosting my stream. Thank you very much. That was a good pun. Decent pun? No, it's probably play on words. Either way, I hope you guys had a good time on in-control stream. Not sure if he was doing any Stircraft today, or maybe some of the more Warhammer stuff. I feel bad. I've actually watched so much, was it Dawn of War 3 or whatever through him? I played Dawn of War 2 or whatever it was. Granted, I'm not a big fan of these, like, no, that's wrong to say. I'm a huge fan of Warhammer. I wish I could afford to play it in real life. But I've watched so much of the new one that I haven't felt compelled to play it because I feel like I've watched it enough through everybody else. Now I got like an itch to go play some War Boys. Anyways, Ghosts on the way, 3 of them, not a problem. EMPs, this game's already been pretty much resolved, I think. As long as BC doesn't make any huge glaring mistakes, there's really no reason Goblin should be able to take a victory here. I mean, you'd have to walk through storms, ignore EMPs, get no snipes off, and still move command, and I think to really throw this game away. But it is worth noting Goblin did finally get a 3rd. Granted, it's been denied mining for a long time because the Liberator was chilling there. So it finally gets this back up and running. 3 medevacs on the left side as well. Fully loaded. This could really hurt. I think the scary thing about this is where that supply difference comes into play most, is BC's got enough army to hold at home while still dedicating this much of it to an attack. And Goblin's going to have no defense in the main. His whole army's in the middle of the map. He's pushing out. Odyssey is a really big map, all things considered, so these Templar can't really turn around to walk home. There's no recall available. And I think any damage... Oh, this is still live. Okay. Any damage is going to be pretty lasting, because this is going to start knocking down pylons. This is going to start knocking out tech. You know, you're not going to be able to replace those Templar if the Templar Archive goes down, so might be scary. Yeah, there's everything in the main going down. Depowers kills the upgrade. No forge, no pylons, no gateways soon either. And he scans. I love this scan of the natural for BC to know like whether it needs to get out of here or not. But as much as I want to just keep complimenting the Terran, like there's not much to say about Goblin. He left himself vulnerable like this. He goes for one last hurrah, but it's going to be going into a planetary fortress surrounded by Widowmines, tanks, Liberators, and bio. I mean, if you ever wanted to cry, Imba, go for it now, because this is going to look disgusting. Storms actually hit pretty well on the backside. Those Widowmines still haven't gone off, though. Yeah, they connect to all the Zealots. EMPs land, too. No more storms available. Oh, excuse me, one storm available, but that's the last one. The planetary remains alive, and GG's good now. Beastyqt going to take the series 2-1 and advance on just a little bit further here for this WCS bracket. But how far he goes is the question, because now he goes up against either Geralt or Mana. We don't know the victor of that series yet, but we'll probably just be following BC down here. That reminder, though, is that I think this is the last best of 3 we get to cast, because they said the mainstream is going to take all 4 of the qualifying matches. So, yeah, we'll be back in a short commercial break, and see you guys soon for another best of 3 when we get back.